Yo, what is up guys, Fleur here, and this is going to be another college football video. This will be following week 8 of the season, and this is the video where I do my top 25 and my own Heisman Watch. So let's get started. The top 25, still number 1 is Alabama. They're 7-0. They just beat Tennessee 44-13. Number 2, I have Oregon still, who's also 7-0. And they won 43-21 against Arizona State. And then Florida at number 3 is 7-0 as well. And they also won, and they had a good victory over South Carolina, a good team. And the score on that one was 44-11. And then number 5, they were number 5 last week, but they moved up to number 4 now, is Kansas State. And they're 7-0 after beating West Virginia 55-14. They just killed them. And then moving from 7 up to 5 is LSU. They are 7-1 after defeating a good team in Texas A&M with a score of 24-19. And moving to number 6 is Notre Dame. I had them for last week, but they're still 7-0, but they struggled against BYU. They still got the victory, 17-14. Moving from number 6 down to 7 is Oklahoma, and they are 5-1 after beating Kansas 52-7. Watch out for the showdown between them and Notre Dame next weekend. So number 8 is still Clemson. They are 6-1 on the season, and they won 38-17 over Virginia Tech this weekend. Number 9 still is USC, 6-1 record for them, and they won 50-6 versus Colorado. I think it's this week or in 2 weeks maybe that they play Oregon, so look out for that showdown. And then number 10 still is Florida State. They are 7-1, just one loss on the year for them. They played Miami, Florida, and won 33-20. And then still at number 11 is Oregon State, who is 6-0 after a victory over Utah 21-7. And then moving from 16 all the way up to 12 is Mississippi State. They've been very impressive this season, 7-0 record, and they won 45-3 over Mid-Tennessee State. Number 13 still is Michigan. They have a 5-2 record, and they won 12-10 versus Michigan State. Michigan got their 900th FBS win all time, so it's a milestone. The first team to do it. Very cool. Number 14 still is Georgia. They're 6-1, and they won 29-24 versus Kentucky. That's kind of too close. Kentucky's not too good, and Georgia will be tested next week as they play Florida. I think Florida will kill them, but watch out for that one. And then moving from 18 up to 15 is Rutgers. They're 7-0, and they won 35-10 over Temple. Number 16 now, moving up from 19, is Texas Tech. They're 6-1 after their double overtime victory over, or was it triple overtime? I don't quite remember, but Texas Tech won in a couple overtimes over TCU 56-53. That game was very exciting. I was watching the end of that, and it was insane. Number 17 still is Louisville. They're 7-0 after defeating USF, or otherwise known as Southern Florida, by a score of 27-25. Moving from 22 up to number 18 now is Boise State, and they're 6-1 on the season, and they won 32-7 over UNLV. And then number 25 last week is now number 19 Stanford. They're 5-2, and they won 21-3 versus Cal. And then moving from number 12 down to 20 is South Carolina after their second straight loss. They're 6-2 on the season, and they just lost last week to Florida 44-11. And then moving from 24 up to 21 is NC State. They're 5-2 after a win. They won 20-18 versus Maryland. And then moving from 15 down to 22 is West Virginia, and they lost for the second week in a row as well. They're 5-2 now, and they lost to Kansas State 55-14. Number 23 now is Ohio. They were not ranked before, and they are 7-0. They had a bye week last week. And then the next two teams were not ranked before as well. Number 24, I got Texas. They're 5-2 after a shootout victory over Baylor 56-50. And then number 25 is Nebraska, who's also 5-2, and they won 29-28 versus Northwestern. That was also a very good game. So the teams that drop out of the top 25 is TCU, Cincinnati, who got upset by Toledo, and then Texas A&M dropped out as well. Now we got the Heisman Watch. This week we got a new player on top. At number 1 is Colin Klein, the quarterback, dual threat from Kansas State. He had 41 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns, and then he was 19 of 21 throwing for 328 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then number 2 is Geno Smith, and he was 21 of 32 for 143 yards and a touchdown. You know, he's had a couple of bad weeks. After that game against Baylor, it looked like he was going to win it easy, but now you never know. Number 3 is Seth Diggy, and he's the Texas Tech quarterback. He had a huge game, leading their team to victory over TCU in overtime. He was 30 of 42 for 318 yards and 7 touchdowns. Number 4 is Landry Jones, the Oklahoma quarterback. A lot of guys are rolling him out in the Heisman, but I still got him in my watch. He was 19 of 28 for 291 yards and 3 touchdowns. Number 5 is Matt Barkley, the USC quarterback. He's back in it after just throwing 1 incompletion. He was 19 of 20 for 297 yards and 6 touchdowns. He now has the Pac-12 record for passing touchdowns in a career, and he only played the first 3 quarters and had 6 passing touchdowns. That's pretty insane. So some other players to watch out for is Denard Robinson, A.J. McCarron, Eddie Lacy, Jeremy Hill, Jeff Driscoll, Taj Boyd, and DeAndre Hopkins. So that is it for this week. Please subscribe and check out some of my other videos. And as always, hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day. Peace.